I think kind of the main thing that strikes everybody about this place is just the overall beauty of the area. Tremendously beautiful building. It was once considered the most beautiful building in Colorado when it was constructed. So, that was what was said about it. So, but yeah, we're still the second oldest operating. We're the oldest that's still actually rearing fish in the original building. So, being part of that and just having that connection to the beginnings of the Fish and Wildlife Service is a very interesting aspect of being here now, and the fact that this is kind of where it all started. What brought this facility about was there was a recognition that there were some large gaps in fish within the Rocky Mountains. So there were a lot of these places that traditionally had a good strong fishery, and there have been a lot of fish in these areas, but just through that overfishing and overharvest, there just weren't as many fish in those areas. So it had been recognized that bringing fish back into those areas was a good thing for the public and for just the environment in general. Some of the more unique aspects that this hatchery supports with anglers is the fact that because we're here, there are greenbacks out there that can be caught. It's catch and release, but they still can be caught, and an angler can say they've caught a greenback cutthroat in the wild, and there's essentially nowhere else that can be done. So we have a couple of waters around the state where they've been stocked. Every hatchery has feeding and cleaning, and that's day in, day out. Most of these fish require feeding at least a couple times a week, depending on what the water temperature is. Sometimes a lot of these different species and certain times of the year, we'll be feeding them 8 times a day. So you'll be in there 8 times a day with all these different groups of fish, feeding them, especially when they're small because they have such a high metabolic need that you need to just kind of keep throwing a little bit of feed at them all day long so that one, they grow, and 2, they don't get stunted. If they don't get enough feed at the right amount of at the right time, they'll get stunted. And then part of it when you're feeding and cleaning them, you also are paying attention to just the overall personality of the fish. Once you've been around fish long enough, they develop their own distinct personality. Essentially, you'll know that some species they'll act one way that's completely contrary to another subspecies of trout. So you, by being around those fish on a daily basis, feeding and cleaning them, you're also learning their personality, so that when something does start to happen, whether it's a disease or something else, just environmental starts occurring, you can recognize it very, very quickly.